Today we're taking a look at these NBA matches, which are happening on Sunday, April 23, 2023, and giving you our team and total picks for today. Welcome back to High Stakes. Before we dive into our video, don't forget to subscribe and to push the notification bell so you don't miss any of our videos. Also check out our Patreon if you want access to our premium picks. Our Patreon is a way for us to help you improve your chances of making more money, and if you are interested in props and parlay picks, check out our new channel High Stakes Props and Parlays, where you can find our player props and parlay picks predictions. You will find the link to our Patreon and to our new channel in the description and comments section below. Cleveland Cavaliers vs New York Knicks. Defense was their calling card during the regular season, but Cleveland finished the regular season 8th in offensive rating. Their offense was 9th in effective field goal percentage because of a 66.1% clip at the rim, which was 5th. The Knicks are doing a great job at taking away quality looks in the paint, but the trade-off is a ton of open Cleveland looks from outside. They simply aren't falling. To that point, Darius Garland finished the last game 4-21, including 1-7 from 3. Donovan Mitchell finished 2-8 from deep. Caris LeVert went 3-11 from beyond the arc. LeVert had a hot stretch in the third where he hit 4 shots, including all 3 of his triples, but was otherwise a bricklayer. Cleveland's final field goal percentage was 38.8%, and their three-point percentage was 21.2%. When the dust settled, the starting lineup committed 13 turnovers, and all finished with a plus worse than -15 while on the court. They may have stymied New York's offense for 17 minutes, but once the defense cracked, it was over. That defense is undeniable though. The Knicks finished the year as a top 5 team in offensive rating that averaged 116.0 points per game. Cleveland is holding them to 96.7 points per game through the first 3 matchups of this series. New York's shooting numbers are down and their turnovers are up. Cleveland just needs to find the bottom of the net. It feels like Cleveland can easily respond in this game. At the same time, it's hard to have faith in their offense, especially on the road. Their spacing feels limited because of their big men, the root of their defense, and they haven't consistently taken advantage of the open looks they create. The Cavs are also playing fairly carelessly with the ball. New York hasn't tinkered with their lineup, while Cleveland has already swapped starting Okoro for LeVert in search of more offense. The Knicks have gotten 3 subpar performances from their leading scorer, Julius Randle, and took 2 games. New York takes this game because they can score more consistently, even when someone is having an off day. Our team pick is New York Knicks -2.5 points. New York's offense isn't in the clear either though, especially not all-star Julius Randle. Randle went 3-15 from the field, 2-10 from 3, and missed a lot of open looks. Other aspects of his game ranged from good to great, but he was the team's leading scorer this season. RJ Barrett kept the team afloat early, scoring 10 of New York's 17 first-quarter points before Jalen Brunson caught fire to bring the game home. Our total pick is over. Sacramento Kings vs Golden State Warriors. Everyone in the media and most in the betting market expect this series to be knotted at 2 after Game 4, and while that may end up being the case, I've still got to believe the point spread is the great equalizer. And I don't see how Draymond's return equates to an extra -1.5 on the spread relative to Game 3's closing line of -6. He's not an offensive threat scoring, and even his exceptional passing ability within this offense still isn't worth a full possession in my view. Combined with his presence on defense, I'd be more willing to hear the argument, but the fact that Sacramento's offense is coming off one of their worst performances of the year and can't do much worse, I'm not ready to fully buy into Green's return being worth much defensively, at least in this spot where I expect the Kings to be much better. I'm not saying we see it end up going that far with a Kings money line win, but this is just too many points for me to pass up with the number 1 offense in the league, primed for a rebound effort after Game 3. Yes, the Warriors look like a championship-caliber team all year at home, with their 23-13-1 ATS home record, but the level of disrespect the Kings are receiving for this game in terms of possibly winning it has reached absurd levels. The Kings did not win the Pacific Division or finish with the most efficient offense by accident, and for a number 3 seed to be catching this many points and still having the majority believe they've got no shot is absurd. The NBA is a game of runs, and should the Kings' runs come in succession with shots falling at will, they might build enough of a cushion where playing even the rest of the way results in a Sioux win, never mind staying within 3 possessions. Take the Kings with the points. The only play on the total that goes along with the line of Sacramento's offense rebounding to a much better night and staying within the number is going up and over this number, even if it is approaching 240. At 240 total equates to a 60-point pace per quarter, a number these two teams reached in 4 of 8 quarters when Draymond Green was playing and could have been 6 of 8 and all 4 in Game 1 had they not combined for 58 and 58 points in quarters 1 and 2 of the series opener. So again, I'm not fearing Green's return from the standpoint of what he brings on defense, and while what he brings on offense also hurts any overbet, I do believe the Warriors would prefer to rely on their far better shooters in this pivotal contest to avoid going down 3-1. Golden State also posted a 8-4 OU record this year as favorites of 7.5 to 9.5 points, and should their scoring runs come in quick succession, it's only going to force a Kings team that wants to play ultra fast already, push the pace that much more. This is probably the last decent spot for an overplay in this series if it indeed ends up 2-2 and goes 6 to 7 games, so I'm going to let it rip here as I hope all the talented shooters on both sides of this one do as well. Take the over. Boston Celtics vs Atlanta Hawks. The Atlanta Hawks won the pivotal Game 3 matchup with their backs against the wall. In a relative must-win scenario, the Hawks shot 56.0% from the floor and won the battle in the paint, outscoring the Celtics inside 54-40. Their backcourt powered the team to the win. Trae Young has 32 points, and Dejounte Murray added 25 in the win. Boston is the better team here, and their all-star duo is better than Atlanta's. The post players have been invisible this series, it has all been focused on perimeter play. Tatum and Brown are bigger and stronger than the Hawks duo of Young and Murray. The Celtics have multiple perimeter defenders to send at the Hawks stars. Tatum and Brown are no slouches on the defensive end, and Marcus Smart is a defensive pest who can take points away from Young and Murray. Atlanta was able to take Game 3 at home, but now Boston will be motivated to take Game 4 and regain control of this series. I see this as a gentleman's sweep. Atlanta got their game, but Boston will take control of the series here. Take Boston to win and cover in Game 4. The Atlanta guards are leading the way in the playoffs. Dejounte Murray is the top scorer with 26.0 PPG, and Trae Young is right behind with 24.0. The guards will need to play well to keep up with Boston's duo of Tatum and Brown. Their next top scorer is Bogdan Bogdanovic with 14.0 PPG on the series off the bench. He has hit 9 threes in the series already. DeAndre Hunter is a defensive stopper, but is also adding 13.3 PPG on the series. The frontcourt has been quiet. Clint Capella is only averaging 8.7 PPG, and John Collins is only getting 8.3. Atlanta will play better at home, but Boston is still the better team and will score big here. The Hawks put up 130 in Game 3, and it is clear their role players score more confidently on their home floor. The Hawks bench hit 8 threes in Game 3 and are clearly more comfortable at home. Atlanta plays fast. They have the 4th fastest tempo in the league and will try to play quickly in Game 4. Boston's guards have been playing well all series. Derek White and Marcus Smart have been scoring above their averages and will help Tatum and Brown put up a big total on the road. Take the over 231.5 points. Denver Nuggets vs Minnesota Timberwolves. Anthony Edwards had another strong performance with a team leading 36 points, but the Nuggets were just too much for Minnesota again, as they are down 3-0 in the series. Karl Anthony Towns had 27 points after totaling only 21 points over the first 2 games, and Rudy Gobert had 18 points and 10 rebounds. Edwards, who had 41 points in Game 2 for the franchise playoffs record, single-handedly brought the Wolves back multiple times in this game. They were within 6 at halftime and kept up the momentum entering the 4th quarter. But Jokic and the Nuggets were too efficient on offense. Nikola Jokic and the Denver Nuggets took a stranglehold on the series Friday night with a 120-111 road win. The Joker notched a triple-double in the win, and the Nuggets can get a lot of extended rest by putting the series away Sunday. I believe the Timberwolves squandered any opportunity they had at coming back in the series after their performance Friday night, and the Nuggets will put them away here. Denver has won 5 of 6 against the Timberwolves, and although Minnesota will be playing for its life, they simply lack what it takes to overcome a much better Denver club. They have covered the spread easily in every single game this series, and I anticipate a blowout win in Game 4 to send the Timberwolves golfing. The Nuggets will move on. Take Denver to win and cover. Denver was near the bottom half of the league with respect to pace of play throughout most of the regular season. Jokic likes to slow the game down with a more methodical approach. The last 2 games in this series went over the projected total, but that came with flurries from Anthony Edwards, who dropped 36 points in Game 3 and 41 in the prior game. Denver will play a more seasoned defensive effort against Edwards here, forcing Towns and company to continue making shots, something they struggled to do the first 2 games of the series. Minnesota was not exactly the most efficient team offensively, ranking 23rd in offensive rating during the regular season. The total number has gone under in 12 of Denver's last 16 games. Take the under.